Welcome back to Gopher's Workshop. I'm your host, Aaron, and joining me, begrudgingly, is Chris.
In fact.
Actual.
I mean, it's normally begrudgingly. Just, it's on my face
today. Today he's a very sassy cat. Very sassy pussy cat. Just calls out and everything. Anyway, sorry. We're going to talk about Nova today. You ready to talk about Nova?
Yeah, despite you making it sound like it's bad.
It's great. Nova was fantastic. I loved everything about Nova. So let's get into everything I loved about Nova. Food was good. The people were great.
Yeah,
what did you like about Nova, Chris?
No, the events were really good. Like they had a good event last year, but if I'm being honest, like it was even better. This year the judges were, better. They were more active, more engaged. It felt like I didn't play in the event this year. I did last year. This year I just ran the booth, but we still had a couple of guys, Mitch and Tyler, that were playing in the event. As far as the booth was concerned, like all the vendors were great. We had a good time. It was really solid event. I mean, it's DC, so it's like not like it's not a short drive.
Yeah,
it's not like it's a major city, so traffic kind of sucks, parking sucks, but also once you're actually at the event, it was really good.
Yeah, location was awesome. Everything was within walking distance.
Yeah,
I mean, you had basically a convenience store. You had multiple food spots that were within like a 10 to 15 minute walking distance.
Mm-hmm. We even did the touristy thing, and it was still like a $7 like Uber to get to most, if not all, of the touristy stuff, and then another $7 back.
That wasn't even that bad.
Really reasonable.
Mm-hmm. I will say the event coordinators and the aides that were walking around and stuff for Nova official, fantastic. Anytime we needed something, they were there. We had some issues with our sign, and they were like, no, we got you. They went all over the place to find us a way to hang our sign.
It took them a minute, but they went out of their way to help us with a thing because the tape was not sticking.
Yep.
It was super good.
Yep. They came to check on us all the time when they had time, because I mean, towards the last couple of days, they were running around like crazy. But those first couple of days, they came and checked on us multiple times and were like, "Hey, you guys need any help?" It was awesome. The event coordinators are great. The event itself was great. A lot of great people we met there. I can't say enough good things about Nova. I don't know that there is a thing that I walked away from Nova and went, "Wow, that could have been better."
I think there was last year, but I mean, to their credit, they kind of like internalized that a little bit and they fixed those things. So yeah, this year, I don't know that there was really much to complain about. The only complaints I have are not even the event itself. No. Like, again, it's a major city, so like the parking's a little expensive, and like going there in general is kind of a long drive for us. But as far as the event itself, I don't know any real complaint. If this is not enough of an indicator, the answer is we're going back next year.
Oh,
we're gonna run a booth. The team's gonna play in some of the events, and we're going back.
Doing it live.
Yeah, no, it's super good. There was, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but there was a meeting with the TOs there. The like approved TO program with GW official there. Mm-hmm. So we got a little more information from that as far as what's coming down the pipeline.
Got a chance to talk to BCP. So there's a couple things for BCP for our event coordinators that are, it's important news to announce.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of good information we got. Just, what we actually went there for, which run the booth, get the team guys, and things like that. In addition to us going back, I gotta say it was pretty good. I think we can officially announce when it comes to RGT, Nova has this thing called Road to Nova.
Yep.
Which is to say there's several events throughout the year that if you win, you get an entry ticket to Nova. Well, we're on the road to Nova. We're actually the first event on the road to Nova.
We're the first stop.
Yeah, because Nova like just happened, right? And basically our event is the first week in October, which, to be fair, I'm not sure we're going to do that same week next year.
Yeah.
We unintentionally overlap with LVO. So we'll fix that for next year. But yeah, we're currently the first stop on the road to Nova. So that's one of our many prize supporty things. The free ticket to Nova. Do the good thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the mic away from you right now, and I'm gonna tell them about the GT, because we haven't talked about it a lot. Like we got a GT going on. No, this is huge. We've got a huge GT going on. First GT, we're going big, we're going hard, and we are going awesome, which is gonna be awesome.
We have way more prize support than I kind of expected us to have. Like,
so
a lot.
I'm going to talk about it. Everything's official now, right? Like we got official ominous dominoses from all of our prize support, right?
Yeah, some of the prize support itself is starting to roll in. We're still waiting on some of it to show up, but we've been promised pretty much everything that we've asked for. So
all right,
pretty good.
So prize support we've got coming. We've got prize support from Turbo Dork. What are we getting from Turbo Dork?
Way more than I expected. I asked for prize support for like the hobby thing, the like, best painted army, things like that. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And then they ended up sending us stuff for not only best painted army, but also a little extra for first and second and third.
Oh.
And then even a little bit of extra on top of that we're just going to kind of, whether it's we do like a runner up for the hobby part, or whether we do some random kind of, door prizes or whatever, they sent us a mountain of stuff.
So Turbo Dork prize support for a lot of things in this event.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Snot Goblin Terrain. What do we got coming from Snot Goblin Terrain?
So that one we're still waiting on to show up, but a lot. So for the GT, I think first place is a full table worth of terrain. I need to double check some of that.
Yep.
But they are, again, handing us a lot. So there's stuff for first, second, and third for sure. For the GT, I think they're sending us some extra stuff to kind of randomize or whatever. Because I know they sent us some like the little, it's not acrylic, but it's the like plastic template system. Yep. Not only for the terrain, but also there's like the thin plastic objective markers that are the big 3-inch plus 40 mil thing. So yeah, we've got, I think one of them's a full table, big event. At least one of them is a half table. It might actually be 2 different people get half tables. And then I think another person or 2 get like a single building by them.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. So it's a whole bunch.
Okay. Next up on the awesome wall of prize support here, Goblin Hobbies. What do we got from Goblin Hobbies?
So they gave us, so Goblin Hobbies, if you don't know, is Goobertown and is it Trash Train? Oh, I feel bad now. There's another guy involved, and I forget on his YouTube channel. But they work together to be Goblin Hobbies, and Goblin Hobbies has the stamp system. So it's it's kind of like the transfers, except for it's like paint stamps. So you can put them wherever you want. You can decide, they have like whole metal plates with like, 20 plus different like templates. And they've got a really neat system using a little like silicone plunger where you can just kind of peel it off the metal plate, stamp it on your model. And it's a really clean, good line, sort of get this weird image on your shoulder pad, your, shin guard or whatever else on your guys. So that's super neat. But we have, they gave us a plunger and a couple of templates to go towards that. They didn't, we talked to them at Nova, so they were kind of thin on some of the product they have. But for this year, they got us like kind of the a nice little package. In future years, we may talk to them about including some of the paints and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I like it. So next up is Monument Hobbies.
Monument Hobbies, I don't officially know what it is they're handing us. However, they did agree to get us some prize support, so we will be getting some stuff from them. If Monument Hobbies, if you don't know, is the people who do Pro Acrylic, that paint line, and they are also the same people who do Color Forge. To my understanding, I think we're not getting any Color Forge. I think it's just Pro Acrylic stuff. But again, I haven't gotten a confirmation on what we're getting from them, just that we are getting something.
We're also getting something from BCP. We're getting something from Best Coast Pairings. What are we getting?
So they are going to give us some codes for subscriptions. So basically, Best Coast Pairings app is the most commonly used in 40K tournament system as far as scoring and tracking of ITC and all that stuff. So they're going to give us some codes. And basically those codes are a subscription to their service that gets you a bunch of features, but kind of the most prevalent feature, which is the main reason why a lot of people like us use it, isn't necessarily for running events. Because while we run events, your average person doesn't, right? But they can go back and look at other events, look at people's lists, go in depth as far as like tracking information on how did this faction do, things like that. So those subscriptions are super nice because it allows you to kind of keep track of the meta a lot easier and a lot better than kind of just trusting various internet sites, right?
So next up on our lovely, ever-growing prize roster,
it never ends.
Mats by Mars.
Yep. So they're going to send us a promo code. The promo code is an entire free mat. So while we're not going to have a mat for you, this is actually better for you. You're going to get the code. And when you get that code, you can go to their site and say, I want a 40K mat for you guys of this image. And then you punch in the code and it's free. So it's like you're getting a mat, but they're giving you the code. That way you can choose what image you want. You want a snow terrain or a jungle or whatever else to fit your faction. So that's super nice. Again, it depends on like the size and stuff. Presumably you're getting a 40K table. Presumably you're getting one of the like regular images. I want to say it's approximately $100 value, maybe 150. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's a full mat. And it's super nice. We're actually going to be using some of their mats for our tables to kind of help flesh out the giant GT that we're trying to run.
Mats. So we got Mats by Mars. Next up is Baron of Dice. We have prize support from Baron of Dice. So the Baron himself.
Yes. And the Baron, we spent some real time with while we were at Nova, and we cracked a bunch of jokes. And many of you probably don't remember this because it's like an older thing, but for some of you who have been playing for a while, back in the day, there was this award or prize called the Wooden Spoon, which was to the person in last place. It was like a, hey, you spent money, you showed up to be here and you had just a rough week. I'm sorry. Here's like a thing, right? And then we all celebrate you for like sticking it out, playing all the rounds, even though you're having a rough weekend. So I think it's really good. And I'm trying to bring that back, at least for our events. So I was explaining this to the Baron guys, and they loved it. So they supplied us some dice. They supplied us the oof dice. So on ones, it says oof. So it's like, it's a nice, fun joke. They supplied us another thing or two, but yeah, we will have a set of dice for last place, and it'll be like some nice, fun, hey, your dice are pretty bad. Here's some new ones. And, you know, don't roll too many ones or oof.
So you talked about, we have the Nova 2026 ticket also as our prize support. The last thing on our prize support roster, besides the prize support that we'll be giving, right? And we'll talk about that at the end. We've got Games Workshop prize support.
Yes. So through the approved TO program, so a surprising number of events should have access to this. But to be fair, I, even as approved TO, just learned about it recently. So it's not like super well known. But several events a year, approved TOs are allowed to hit up GW Official, and for their event, they're allowed to get a code to a codex. So there's going to be one person who's going to win this prize during our GT. And the code, basically they say, I want X codex. And while it's not a physical book, I get to message GW, and GW will give them a code to that for the app, whether it's via their, the app itself, the Warhammer app, or their website. They can put it in their My Warhammer, and they'll gain access to all that. Or especially for more competitive players that are trying to track all of their friends' stuff and their opponents and stuff like that. This is a really nice thing to, like, I don't know what to do, and I don't play Votann, but now I can play an event, I get a free code. Well, now I have all their information and I can learn what they do.
Yep.
Obviously, the more common answer here is probably going to be like, well, I was thinking about getting into like Black Templar, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. Well, how about a free codex? Does that help you? Sure does. That saves me $50. That's a whole nother kit, right?
Yep.
So whatever you decide to use it for, you will get to choose what codex code you want. And then I will message GW official. They'll get you a code. I'll supply it to you, or I'll have them send it to you directly. See, and I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do that part, but either way, you get to select what codex you want. There's a free code involved.
So we've got paint, some paint supplies and stuff from Turbo Dork. We've got terrain from Snot Goblin, the modular terrain, the new stuff that just came out, right?
Yep. The mats to put that terrain on.
We got the mats by Mars mats. We've got Goblin Hut. We've got their cool new stamp device where you can stamp on your logos and decals, things, decals. Yep. We've got Goblin Hobbies. I don't think we talked about.
No, that's the stamp stuff.
Oh, so sorry. So Goblin Hobbies is the one with the stamp stuff. We have Goblin Hut's price support too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot about Goblin Hut.
Goblin Hut got us some paintbrushes. They have really nice quality paintbrushes. They got us. They're also the ones that do like the blood and the gore, the like sticky kind of like red paint, and snot, which is the clear one that you can tint to be whatever you want. So you keep it clear or make it kind of glowy, neon, radioactive, whatever. So they do a bunch of that stuff. They supplied us with some of their brushes. I'm trying to remember if they supplied us with more than that.
I think they supplied us with like some gore and snot as well.
Yeah, I got to double check that one. I remember the brushes for sure. I'm not sure how much else they sent us with.
I want to say everybody who like donated to this event donated a healthy amount.
Yeah,
for price support. So yeah, we got Turbo Dork for paint stuff. We've got Snot Goblin terrain for your terrain. We got Mats by Mars for the terrain to go on top of. We got Goblin Hut for, your paintbrushes and like the really nice ones and maybe some gore effects and stuff. We've got Goblin Hobbies for your stamper, for your little logos and everything else. We've got Monument Hobbies. They're going to be sending us something along the hobby train.
Maybe hobby supplies. We'll see.
Best Coast pairings, free subscriptions. Games Workshop, free codex. We've got Baron of Dice, Oof Dice. And we've got a Nova 2026 ticket. The prices in this event are insane. And that's not even it. What are we adding to this?
So we're going to be putting a few things into it. Obviously, some amount of like store credit we'll probably throw at like random kind of door prize sort of things. So you can, again, the reason it's generic store credit is that way you can get exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Obviously, like some people are going to be like, well, I don't know that I need the like stamper thing. I don't really do decals or whatever. Store credit can literally be applied to anything. So you can decide I'm going into this new faction or whatever else. In addition to that, we have, for example, as a reminder, we're also doing a Spearhead event.
Yep.
So we have an entire AOS army box going towards the winner of the Spearhead event.
Yep.
So that's like effectively doing something, Spearhead box worth of models. So it's a pretty good turn on investment for a player. And then we'll have a few other kits going at it as well as kind of door prizes. Yep. But a lot of the donations we got, we kind of, promise these to go towards for second, third, go towards last place, go towards best and painted, things like that. As far as like the door prizes, a fair amount of that will be coming from us.
Yeah. So this laundry list of prize support that we have got for this event. The answer to your questions is we loved Nova so much we wanted to do it again.
Kind of. We are not a Nova.
Not a Nova. Okay. We are doing it on a much smaller scale, but we loved how awesome they were to the people, the players, the vendors. We loved it all, and we were like, you know what? We're gonna learn a little bit from that, and we're gonna use that in our own event too. So this is us learning from the greats to be a great, right?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
So we've got a bunch of prize support. We're doing a lot of fun things. That weekend is going to be awesome. So if you can't make LVO or maybe you just want a smaller event, I encourage you to come check our GTO.
Yep. By the time you're hearing this, we should have the tournament packet up. That'll have all the information as far as shooting us email about conversions, about the missions that we're doing, things like that. We're not giving everyone a ton of time to like whatever for that, but a couple of weeks. That way, you know, nobody's surprised by what's going on. It's got all that in there.
So yeah, we've got this big event going on that we wanted to make an official giant announcement this episode because we are talking about Nova and everything else, and we figured this is the perfect time to announce that we are also on the road to Nova, and it's about time you know what to expect out of our GT.
Yep. We did a fair amount of advertising at Nova, so if you are interested in joining, tickets have started going pretty steady, so I suggest trying to get on that train earlier rather than later. This year, we've limited it to 50 people. We're still expanding the store. We're still kind of getting settled into the new place. So next year, all goes well, we could probably do even more than that. But for this year, we're going to probably cap it around there. And then as far as our event's concerned, we've got all brand new terrain.
Yep.
From Snot Goblin. So it'll be nice and new, not broken, standardized, meant for tournament play, that sort of thing.
Yep. Every table should be the same or close to.
Yes.
So you shouldn't be for any surprises where, there's a second floor here, but not on this table. And
it should be pretty much all the same. Because we're still waiting on the third wave of Snot Goblin. So we have enough to cover most of it. If that's not in on time, we already have a backup solution. There's some other terrain we have for the last few tables, if that's what needs to happen. But that should all be in on time. So yeah, it should all be standardized.
Yep. In addition to all of this, we're also going to be streaming Top Table.
Correct.
The whole weekend, Top Table will be streamed.
For what it's worth, for the Top Table, that probably won't be. It'll still be standardized for tournament events, but that probably won't be Snot Goblin. That will be the first time you get to see some of our studio terrain that Sky's been working on.
Shout out to Sky. Heck of a paint job. So yeah, just be on the lookout for everything. We took a long time to talk about this GT, but it's a lot of info. We are really excited. It's going to be awesome. And we are still encouraging you, absolutely encouraging you to come out, get your tickets ASAP. Because these tickets are, like Chris said, they're steady flying. We want to make sure that you're able to come. If you want to come, head over there, grab your tickets. Anything else you want to talk about with the GT?
Obviously, there's a bunch of people that planned way ahead of time for LVO. But for those who decided they can't go, I'm a much more affordable event. But no, I hope everyone that wants to play gets to play this year. Again, I think we're going to sell out for tickets. So for those of you who don't get to participate this year, first off, I'm sorry. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
I will do everything in my power to finish our new location so that next year we will have plenty of space for even more people.
Yep. Well, with that being said, we're on the topic of GTs and events. Why don't we, before we take our mid-break, why don't we jump into what we heard from GW Official while we were at Nova? Because we've talked so highly of Nova. Nova's great. We can't say anything more than Nova's just fantastic. The people are fantastic. Go to Nova. We've talked about our GT. So what are we on now? What's with the GW official?
So GW, the TO approved TO program, what they're called. At several major events every year, they kind of have like a meet and greet social sort of thing. And they had one at Nova, and it was really nice. It was a nice little for lack of a better term, off campus, restaurant. And we got to talk with, there's, 2 guys from GW. There's a bunch of organizers from several other events, and it allows organizers like myself to ask questions. And it's not just for me to ask questions and be annoying about like what, factions coming out next, or whatever else. We don't care about it. We care about actually the running of events and how they should be handled, what sort of changes are coming that would affect how events are run. Like being in a let's say a more private setting, it also allows us to get a little bit more candid things that, not that they wouldn't tell us, but maybe aren't as apt to tell us in more public things like that. I'm not going to go into all that because obviously some of that they don't want out for everybody just yet. But there are things that they are fine with us telling everybody because they're excited about some of the stuff they're doing there. One of the things that should be coming soon is there's going to be a publicly available approved TO website. Yep. Which is to say it's not just for the TOs, but it's a resource for how events should be run and things like that. To clarify what they said, they're coming out with new guidelines for TOs, and here's what they suggest, but they're all suggestions. GW is never going to tell you that an event has to be run a specific way. That allows us as organizers to do weird, fun things on occasion. Want to do something weird and fun, but also it allows us to make adjustments for our specific methods, whether that's, maybe you've got a problem player. Maybe you've got, a group that's a little more narrative focused or things like that. But the guidelines are overall probably going to be adopted by the vast majority of TOs. And the biggest thing that we want to, or they wanted to, but also I want to mention about these guidelines is the encouragement of what is called active judging. Okay, this is huge. It solves a ton of problems as well as, I think, makes an objectively better event. So active judging means that the judges, presumably there's multiple unless it's a smaller event, but the judges are walking around. They're interacting with the games that are being played. So if they see or hear something that maybe isn't entirely accurate as far as you guys are playing, we understand that might just be an oops, right? We're not saying that everyone's trying to get away with something, but for the integrity of the game and the fairness to both players, because I understand that you don't know everyone else's rules, right? It's hard enough to keep track of your own. Judges should be kind of interrupting games and correcting some of those errors as they hear, which means they should be paying attention to games more. They should be walking around, being available for people to call judges. It shouldn't be, well, I want to call a judge, but I don't even see him. He's up at the front of the room, or he's like, I don't know, off somewhere. I can't even see him. I don't want to say it's bad judging, but that's not.
It's not the intention of what the TO program and the position of TO is.
Correct. So they're really going to encourage active judging. Because GW is encouraging it, that means most of your TOs, especially the true TOs, are probably all going to adopt that. And I think that's going to solve a lot of problems. If you're worried about, cheaters, I'm not saying that there are a ton of them, but also they happen, especially at major events, they happen, right? Yep. Well, is a cheater really going to try to get away with something when round one, they come over and the TO just jumps into their game and says, no, you don't have access to that. That's not how that works. Okay, well, game one, they already know, they're going to call me on some stuff. And if they call me on too many things, they're going to start to figure out that I'm trying to get away with something.
Yep.
And that's going to discourage cheating from the get-go.
Yep.
This already makes a better event. And we're not they haven't even cheated yet, right? They made like an honest mistake and they already know game 3, game 4.
Ain't happening.
I can't get away with something. I'm not going to try to, because they're like, the judges have been walking around all day. My opponent could call them over and they don't even have to walk across the room. They're already like close enough. They're going to answer all sorts of questions. This also will help encourage people to ask more minor questions, right? Yep. The number of times where I hear people like, I don't know how that interacts. Nah, we'll just 4-up it. I don't want to waste the time. Well, if the judge is already standing behind them, sure, they may be looking at a different table, but they're like basically at arm's reach. No, we can just ask them real quick and then we'll play it right, instead of just rolling a dice and then one of us is frustrated that the die roll went the wrong way and now we didn't play it right, blah, blah, blah. Along with this active judging, there is a big push for judges to correct themselves. Mm-hmm. So let's say you come up and ask me a question, or you ask maybe like not the head judge, you ask some other judge a question. If they get it wrong, that sucks. But the judges, after they give you a ruling, they're going to like double check themselves, right? They're going to go to the head judge, look it up themselves to verify. And if they're wrong, GW is actively discouraging sticking to your guns on the wrong ruling. Sure, maybe you can't go back and correct that ruling, but we should still tell players, hey, that's not actually how this works. I apologize. We messed up, or I misremembered, or I forgot that they FAQ'd it and it changed now. We want to let you guys know for future games, and also for the rest of the event, we're playing it correctly. We're not going to make a bad ruling. Yep. And then, nope, that's the ruling for this event now. And it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. We're sticking to our guns. Don't question me, I'm a TO. Like, all that should be going out the window.
Yep. This is a prime example. Both of these are a prime example of what just happened with our current RT. We just had an RT last weekend.
Yep.
And both you and I were actively on the floor at the entire event, actively going to tables, answering questions. There wasn't a time where we sat down for longer than 2 seconds. And that's fine. But also, I was the TO that had to go back and correct himself. I was asked a question about who infiltrates first and who does this, and
I think
it was scouting specifically.
Yeah, I think it was like something about alternating scouts or something.
I was asked if scouting was alternating. I honestly could not remember, and I was like, right, in order to get this game going so these guys aren't jeopardized on time, I have to make a ruling right now. So I said, go ahead and alternate. I went back, looked through the handbook, looked through all the rules, confirmed with you and a couple other people, and went, oh no, I messed up. So I went back to their table and went, hey, just want to steal you away for 2 seconds. I want to let you know I made a bad call. It was not alternating activations. You should be taking your whole scout move, and then your opponent takes the scout move. You don't alternate. Yep. This is in fact, you take all and then you take all.
And it specifically is determined not by the roll off, but by like attacker, defender, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And I went through the whole thing with them and they went, awesome. That's cool. We're just going to go ahead and stick with what you said the first time because we're already in our first turn 1. I was like, no, it's totally fine. I just want to let you know for the remainder of the event, keep this in mind. This is the ruling.
Right.
And I have to correct myself. And I do apologize that I misspoke. They were totally fine with it. They were even more appreciative that I came back, corrected myself, so that when they go to future games, even not here at the store, future events, now they know the ruling and they can actively challenge bad calls. Right. Or they can actively challenge their opponents and know where to look it up, because it wasn't as far as I'm wrong. I even showed them, here's where you can find the ruling for the future.
Right. And I think one of the things that's really nice about this too is this is kind of how we treat the podcast and the YouTube and all that stuff. Like, we are very focused on helping educate people. Yes, we're focused on competitive. Some of that comes in line with kind of our opinions and stuff like that, but it's always coming from a educational standpoint, and correcting a TO of any kind, correcting their own ruling in itself becomes educational. Not only do we go up to them and say, even if we can't change it, we're together, we've learned this is how it actually works. I looked it up, I verified, I let you know that this was wrong. This is how it should be. We're educating ourselves. And game is complicated. It's big.
Yeah.
There's constantly changing things, right? It's not that it's easy to track, but also if we're all working together, even the TOs are working together with the players to like educate ourselves and help each other play the game more accurately, better. That's how we all get to enjoy the game better. That's how the game feels better, because we're not getting frustrated with, but I got screwed on that ruling, or I got, I misunderstand how that worked and that cost me the game. We're all working together constantly. This is better for the game as well as ourselves.
Yep. I'm just going to say we are not above mistakes as TOs.
No TO is.
No. I will take a prime example here, and I'll leave you on this so we can go to our mid-break. Canis Rex. If he's destroyed, you had to kill Sir Hector in order to get Assassinate. They FAQ'd that, and out of all the TOs I asked about this specific question, 4 out of 5 of them went, no, it doesn't count as double Assassinate if you kill Canis Rex and Sir Hector. It was you who turned around and goes, no, they FAQ'd that. It was also one of our players that first brought it up to me as a question. It goes, no, there's an FAQ. It was you and me discussing it, where you were like, no, here's the FAQ. Go look it up here. 100%. Honestly, that says something about us TOs. It's hard to keep up to date with the most current rule sets at all times in this game.
Okay,
so it's okay to know that you can make a mistake.
And that's totally fair. But also, part of the reason it's hard for us to keep, it's a TO, right? Like, it is my job to know the rules well enough to answer questions and judge events. But it's kind of funny how nitpicky some of the rules can be, right? Like, as competitive play is concerned, we care about all those nitpicks. But the reality is the reason that's confusing and they had to do an FAQ is because Assassinate in the previous mission deck was kill a character unit. And then they had to FAQ that to say, well, you have to kill the character because leaders and whatever in order for it to count as a character unit. Well, now they say character model.
Yep.
And that's where Sir Hector gets confusing because no, the unit's not dead. And they did clarify that Canis and Sir Hector they count as one unit. When Canis dies, the unit didn't die, but a model did. So thus you still get Assassinate.
So with that being said, I think we've talked about everything that GW Official has announced. I'll leave us on this note. The big announcement from BCP. Turn your beta on.
Yeah. So this is specifically for event organizers, but there's a beta feature. It's just a toggle. It's not much. To be honest, they're still working on it. We had a little bit of trouble with we turned it on and it wasn't registering, and then we got it to register later. But as players, if you show up and you don't want to play against your friends that you've been playing all the time at some other event, because you travel together, right? Create a team. You can match yourself to my team name is whatever, and BCP will naturally de-pair you round 1. Now, you end up both winning and you have to play each other at some point. That happens.
Yep.
Good job. You're both doing well. But at least for round 1, when it's full random, the system tries not to pair team members together. Let's say you don't have a team name. Okay, that's fine. Well, in the beta version, you can create round pairings, and before it pushes it to everybody, you can go back and double check to make sure that these two people are playing each other every Tuesday.
Yep.
They don't want to play each other again round 1. I can manually adjust those pairings. It's super simple in order to round 1 prevent common players from playing each other.
And that is even before the players actually see the pairings. This is what the difference between the beta and the normal is. And the normal, you have to submit it, then you can change it, and after everybody's visible. With the beta, you can change it before it even becomes visible. But this isn't just the only thing the beta is offering. Directly from BCP, they said, get your beta turned on because we got all kinds of cool new stuff that's going to be coming. So if you're an event organizer, I encourage you to turn your beta on.
Yep.
Turn it on.
And that's, like I said, yeah, that's the main thing right now is that ability to correct round one pairings, because it's going to make everyone feel better about the event if they get to play someone different than someone they've played all the time. Again, it really only matters for round one, but to me, that was the biggest feature. And I really liked it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're coming out with more stuff. Not all of it's been announced. They're constantly working to improve it. But yeah, that's the main one.
Right. Well, on that note, let's go to our mid-break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how the team did and some funny memories of Nova, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here we are. The middle part of the episode thing.
Are you sure about that?
What's the first thing we do, Chris?
The patrons.
The patrons. So we have to thank our guardsman patron, Sergeant Matt. Sergeant Matt.
You know, all right. I'm not saying you make me want to drink, but could we, with the accent that you put on patrons, could we start calling them the patrons?
The patrons. The patrons.
Don't ask what I was thinking about it. It's Aaron's fault.
So we have to thank our White Shield Guardsman patrons, Mitch, Nicodemus, and our new White Shield Guardsman patron, Tiberius. So shout out to our patrons. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Without you, the show would be it would be hard to do.
Aaron makes it hard enough.
I do.
Make it a little easier.
But also, we have to give a shout out to our listeners, because without you, the show wouldn't be possible. So thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our patrons. You're also lovely and awesome. Make this all amazing. We love you. Big hugs. Anyway. So what's new? What's new in our mid break? What's the word on the street?
So this week, as far as new stuff, we're going to be this weekend getting so there's some Necromunda stuff that's new. There's some new Age of Sigmar spearheads. There's the new Helmsmiths of Heshmut, however that's pronounced. Heshut. So there's some cool minis coming out. As always, you can get them on our website. In addition to that, we should be getting are we getting the new detachments this weekend? Or is that next week?
I think that will be next weekend.
I think that's next week. I think you're right.
Oh, no. I think it might be this weekend, because we got the Old World and we got the
no, I think that's next
Sigmar
weekend.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think next weekend is the official release of Raven Guard Guy and...
Oh, yes. So next weekend is the official release of Raven Guard.
Yeah.
And
so,
yeah.
While all the information is arguably out there, so you could start playtesting it, the official kind of get to play with the cool thing comes out next weekend, which, as a gentle reminder, again, check out our mission pack. Next weekend's releases are the last releases that will be official for our GT.
Yeah, and that's where you get the Sekitar robots, and you're gonna get your Grey Knights and your Grandmaster.
Yeah. All of those are arguably official without the release, but you get the standalone model, so you don't have to kit bash or whatever else. So that's really nice. But yeah, the official release of the new detachments, I think, is next weekend. So you'll get the new Raven Guard detachment, First Company detachment.
Yep.
So those will be legal for RGT.
I think that's about it. I mean, we haven't got really a whole lot on the 40K front. We did, okay, not true. We did get announced that the Drukhari are getting a standalone codex and
yes, soon
Combat
TM.
Patrol, soon TM. So that was a riveting news.
They put out a little bit of a spoiler, but obviously it's not like the full spoiler. It was just a little bit. I know some people have been a little underwhelmed with the spoiler in that they only announced 2 new character models so far.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's all we get. Maybe it's not all we get. Again, this is like the start of the spoilers for them. It's not the announcement of like everything that's coming.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
It kind of feels like this is going to be like the end of the big updates to armies.
For this year, probably.
Yeah.
Last year, there was a whole thing of like, Blood Angels are going to be the last release. And while we still got model releases and some stuff throughout the rest of the year, they basically stopped doing codexes and major updates for the last like 3 months of the year.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if that's true again this year. So I think Drukhari is probably the last codex we get this year.
And I feel like we're still going to get like the Christmas bundles and things like that. So
we'll still get model releases. I wouldn't be surprised if we get like, this was only this army box. Well, now it's standalone. So we're going to keep getting releases. They've already announced that, we're getting the, the Iron Hands guy?
Yep.
That's probably this year still. Iron Hands Combat Patrol, a White Scars guy plus White Scars Combat Patrol. Like I still expect to get model releases.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is probably the last major rules release we see, other than points changes and stuff like that for the rest.
Still exciting to finally, especially for our Drukhari players out there, they're finally getting a codex.
Yeah, which is fine. Some factions, depending on the edition, they like get their stuff super early and then it kind of feels lackluster towards the end, or they feel lackluster in the beginning because everyone else is getting updated and they get updated at the end. It's just kind of roll of the dice. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just kind of the randomness that is somebody has to come first and somebody has to.
Yep. Well, with all that being said, I guess it's time for that friendly little reminder. Hey, you can go to gophermafia.com and get 15% off all your GW purchases.
Are you certain about that?
I am 100% positive.
Are we certain about that?
Don't make fun of my stutter. Yes, you can head on over to gophermafia.com, get 15% off all your GW stuff, and that is Black Library, that's models, that's codexes, that's Sigmar, that's Old World. If it's GW, you get 15% off.
Yep. Pre-orders, special orders. If you don't see it on the site, shoot me an email. I'll take care of you.
Yep.
Still get you that sweet discount.
And at Nova, we told a lot of people, and we've already had a few people from Nova message us and be like, hey, see this pre-order's coming out. Yeah, absolutely. We get you on a special order form. We get you to take care of. We are 100% telling you the truth, and we say we'll take care of you. Come message us. Come to the store. Come check us out. Get some money back in your pocket. Hobbying ain't cheap. But that also goes for a lot of other things in the store. We try to keep everything discounted as much as we are possibly allowed to on most of the things in the store. So check it out. We've got we just brought in Game Envy with the new lights. And the paint cups and like the brush cleaner at the bottom of the cup. We got a bunch of cool stuff.
Yep. Board games still 15% off. You name it, I try to discount it.
Yep.
There are some things that I don't get to do the full 15% because that's determined by the company. But also, and then we're constantly doing deals. Right now, we've got a sweet deal going on Lethal Shadow paints.
Yes.
Super discounted for a temporary period of time.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff all the time.
So with all that being said, go check out the website. Go check out gophermafia.com and go check out the little deals tab, or go get your models and whatever else you're looking for. On that note, let's head to the last part of our episode. here we are in the last part of the episode. Is the final countdown.
Wait, you know how to count?
No. We watched me count the drawer. It's not great. All right. We're going to talk about the team now. We've talked about ourselves and Nova and how glorious and great it is. And we've talked about GW official. Now let's bring it home to the heroes. All right. Let's talk about our team that went.
So this year we only had 2 players go because there's a lot of other stuff going on. We went to a bunch of GTs this year. We tried out Kansas City Open, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So those cost dollars. So we only had 2 people go this year to Nova, play in the main GT. Our old Mitch and Frank. They did pretty good. Frank did quite amazing. He's mostly been playing orcs, which is to say he's been having a rough time. He switched factions and ended up 100th, almost exactly, actually maybe even exactly, 100th out of was it 376 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So he did very well. He had a blast. Mitch had a little bit of a rougher time. His ranking was pretty low, but that's because he decided not to play all of the games. So that just always ends up hurting your ranking.
Yeah.
But Mitch even had some fun games, some close games, had a good time for the most part. He had one rough game with a rough player.
Yep.
But again, we talked to the TOs about that. That was, I believe, addressed. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But Frank, I gotta talk about Frank. That boy had a blast. I gotta say, I was kind of proud, right? Because he not only did really well, great for him, but even when he lost a game, it was so good to see him come back, and he had that smirk on his face, oh man, but I almost got him. If I would have made this choice better, he recognized the problem, right? He's if I would have done this thing differently, I totally could have done it. And other games you would come back and he would it was really funny because the one game where he totally trounced a guy, he came back and it was he had that smirk, but it wasn't the big smirk. It was a little smirk of no, but I got 100. It was great. Also, I feel bad.
Yeah, it was proud of myself. I did 100 points. Also, it doesn't feel great.
Yeah. But no, he had some close games, both wins and losses. He, had a crazy kind of super good game. So to note, he almost, one of his really close games, but a loss, was actually against the number 1 Chaos Knight player.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good for both players because after the game, he talked with the guy and was hey, what can I do better? And he was getting pointers from the number 1 guy, right? So he felt like he was learning and he was okay with the loss, but it was still close. So he didn't feel bad or whatever. Yeah. Even if it was, a bad loss, I think he still would have understood. And I'm here to learn. I haven't been playing, this new faction very long. What can I do better? That sort of thing.
Hold on. You keep saying not very long. Frank had only picked Knights up. Keep in mind, our dear listeners, he only picked it up 3 weeks before Nova?
Arguably it was 5 weeks, but during that 5 weeks he was flopping back and forth between Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights and stuff like that. So
he only had 3 active weeks of practice. And boy, did he practice.
Yep. But he did super good.
He did.
But yeah, no, it was great because obviously when he was playing orcs, he was still learning the game, right?
Yep.
So even though he had a new faction to learn, he was constantly, trying to learn deployments, trying to get better, figure out matchups, yada, yada. But no, even playing against the number 1 Chaos Knight player, he was so proud of himself because he was no, but that guy kept middle of the game. He kept saying that he was I was making him work for it. And he was just so proud of himself. He did super good.
Yes. Shout out, Frank. Awesome job. And I'm so happy that I feel like he's found his faction.
Well, okay, so he's still an orc player, right?
Oh, you should see
his knights.
Knights are orked.
His knights are all orked up.
Through and through. There'll never be another choice for Frank. Yeah. But also, I'm happy that he's found the faction that he can call home when orcs isn't it.
Yeah.
So
he's doing great. And I got to say, part of the reason I think he did so well is because he stuck with orcs for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've been in a kind of rough place for a while, but the fact that he stuck with them, the fact that he was like trying to like, you know, surmount that giant hill, he learned a lot. So now when he switches over to knights, which are in a better place objectively, well, now he can take all those hard fought, like learned things and apply them to a stronger faction. And that clearly is part of why he did so well.
Oh,
it's not just because knights are, you know, super good right now. He played with the points nerfs, like didn't matter. He still did well.
Yep.
Because Nova adopted all those point changes at the end. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with him putting in the work with orcs, not just because of the position knights are in.
Yep. And absolutely, here's the thing. After months, because I'm not even going to say weeks at this point, after months of hearing people talk about how knights are just so hard to fight, I just witnessed, 2-3 knights players at our GT or at RT here this last weekend. They didn't play. I mean, they placed, obviously, and they played well and they did well, but they weren't one of the top 3 factions.
No, we had, it was Drukhari and then Space Wolves and Deathwatch.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. Again, yeah, this just reiterates the point of we took a little time, learned how to fight into these things with what we had at our disposal. I get that it feels like they're tough now, but again, you bring up the Frank point. He fought so long and so hard with orcs to make it work that when he goes to a faction that's arguably in a good place, it's not as much of an uphill battle for him.
Yep.
And he can make better choices.
Arguably, our third place was Deathwatch. According to ye old internet, like Deathwatch are in a pretty rough place right now.
Drukhari, the same.
Sure. You know what? The Drukhari, I think, are a little more middling.
Oh,
They're not in a bad place right now. So that's a little less crazy. But again, Deathwatch are, according to multiple sources on the internet, are in a rough place. Still placed third. They still won 2, lost 1. Like, pretty good.
Against the current meta. I won't go too much on our high horse, but we also had similar discussions with GW Official. We had discussions with other YouTubers while we were there, reiterating the same point of you can play what you want to play. You just have to learn to master it.
Yep.
And every single one of those, and you've listened, you've seen their shows. I won't shout them out because I don't know what their firm standpoint on this is, but loved them to death. They were great. But our YouTube official guys, the GW official guys, all of them said, no, absolutely. That's what we want people to learn.
Yep.
We want them to learn that it's okay to play the thing you love, master it, and it can be competitive.
Correct.
So we're not reiterating anything that isn't actually true here. But that being said, how about some fun times? We talked about the team. They did great. How about some fun times?
There was some goofy stuff that happened. Yeah, I guess we'll start with, it was like a fun, not necessarily funny thing, but most of us had been to DC before because we've been Nova before because of other times in our life. You hadn't been to DC before. So we went and I took you to some of the touristy stuff.
Yep.
Saw some monuments, things like that. So that was kind of fun. We got to walk around town. As far as the booth was concerned, we had a ton of fun because people were, we showed up with used models. We've been unintentionally shouted out on a couple of YouTubes and stuff already about we're the used guys that were at Nova.
I'm okay to be a used model, guys.
Yeah. So it was a really good time. We got to interact with a bunch of the different booths. Whether it was Snot Goblin or whether it was or sorry, not Snot Goblin. Goblin Hobbies. Goblin.
A lot of goblins there.
There's a lot of goblins. So, but no, Goblin Hobbies, Baron of Dice,
yes,
Catalyst. We talked with a bunch of those guys, had a great time. Went and got hung out after hours with a couple of them and things like that. Had a good time. Again, talked with the GW guys, went and had dinner with some of those. We ourselves had some of our own fun times doing dumb things.
We did. We got to make one of our teammates' dreams come true. He got to meet and hang out with JT from Play On. Boy, howdy, did he have a blast. Yes,
he was we'll say giddy.
He was very giddy. I want to reiterate. I say this on all my other podcasts. I want to reiterate this here. Celebs are people too, and oftentimes we forget this.
Yeah, because it's okay. Calling him a celebrity isn't necessarily untrue, but also like it depends on the circle
you're right? Absolutely right. Yeah,
and it's also based upon the individual. Right? It's not that JT isn't a cool guy.
It was very cool.
You hung out with him, had a good time.
Yeah.
But also, you and I both know that like a lot of YouTubers, whether it's, Goobertown or Play On or whoever, we get to talk with them and we have a good time. Also, Mitch being not involved in as much of this was, again, I don't know how to say it. That man was starstruck.
He was starstruck.
So happy.
Again, I understand, like, we're on different planets when this comes to this, right? Like, you and I, as podcasters, I've been doing this for a while now. I get to hang out with these people on a regular basis. Like, I've had discussions with them. We've had dinners. We've had meals.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like sending emails back and forth. So it's like, okay, well, we've talked before. Yeah. Even if we haven't seen each other, we kind of recognize each other a little bit.
Yeah. Like to us, it's just JT, right? Like, it's all right. It's JT. He's a cool dude. We love him to death. To Mitch, it was, and I get it. I've been in his shoes. That Mitch, it was, no, you don't understand. But I'm glad and I love the fact that we were able to do this for him. We made a dream come true during Nova.
Yeah.
Love it. But yes, huge shout out to them. Huge shout out to everybody at Nova. It was awesome. We had a lot of fun. I honestly, we made some really good memories, I think.
Yeah. I mean, even one night, I think it was after the event was over. We were completely done. Because it's such a long drive for us, we decided to like spend the night and drive the next day after the event was fully over. Even that night, we did like a little movie night, had a good time goofing around. So yeah, it was a ton of fun. Even if it's not Nova, like go to Nova's, but even if like it's DC and it's expensive or whatever else, even if you can't go to these events, try to find like your little gaming. Try to find an event that you all can go to. Maybe that's us, right? Maybe that's RGT, as we're like smaller town or a little more affordable, but just going to these events, go to them with your friends, have a good time, spend a little extra time so that it's not like I got to work on Friday and then we're going to like right after work, we're going to drive, we're going to play an event all weekend and then we're going to drive back and I got to work. Like, try to spend a little extra time, enjoy it, have a good time. Because if you're not rushed, if you're not feeling like, man, I feel like I was working all weekend, I was playing games, you can make a lot of good memories. You can have a good time. That's part, I would argue, a majority of what this hobby, right, should be fun. Yes, we're trying to be competitive sometimes. Yes, it's complicated. We're trying to educate each other. It doesn't mean that there isn't work involved, but also as much as that work is involved, it should still be fun.
So what you're saying to me, Chris, is it's not the journey, it's the friends you made along the way. Also, the One Piece is real.
Well, you lost me.
Well, on that note, is there anything else you want to say about our Nova episode?
No, we've got a lot of more, information as far as like the game itself, and we're going to kind of try to get back to that here soon. Evaluating, if people want me to, I could evaluate some of the attachments that are coming out. That obviously we'll do the Ari review whenever that exists. But yeah, as far as Nova, said enough. Great. We'll see you there next week.
On that note, before we end the episode, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to the Nova and Nova team. It was great. It was awesome. They've worked with us behind the scenes on a lot of things. Fantastic people. Want to give a shout out to the team, the Gopher team. You guys did awesome. Yep. We're super proud of you.
Specifically, Mitch and Frank.
Yes,
Frank did.
Absolutely.
Frank helped out, and that was great, but he was playing in the event. Mitch, I want to extra thank, because on Sunday, after he decided he wasn't going to play in a round or two, he then came to the booth and actually helped us out from the booth. Super appreciative. Absolutely.
Big shout out to all of the customers we had at Nova. They were fantastic, lovely people. So glad we could help you get the models you needed on the cheap. So glad that we could come visit with you, hang out with you, and see you. It's an awesome experience. And last but not least, big shout out to, I guess, Washington. It was an awesome experience. Traffic sucks.
Yeah, for the most part, we stayed inside the convention hall and then we walked to restaurants. So it's not like we actually got to see much of it. You and I specifically got to see more than everybody else.
We did.
So
shout out to DC.
I don't know about all that, but
I do want to say on a personal note, shout out to JT from Play On. It was awesome that he took the time to hang out with one of our team guys, and he's just an awesome guy all around. And if you haven't yet, go check him out. So on that note, I guess that's it for episode.
Yeah. Well, we got more stuff to come, and
absolutely. Bat reps
see you next
soon.
time.
Bat reps soon.
Yeah. We're getting some painting done. We got the terrain done. So we are working towards that. We probably won't put any of those out till after our GT because we have a lot on our plate, but we are continuing to work on that for you guys.
So with that being said, thank you all for listening. Tune in next week.
Hey everybody, it's Aaron. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Gopher's Workshop with us, hanging out and listening. Remember, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you think. And if you feel like supporting us, you can always go to Patreon in the show notes below. Thanks. Till next time.